So in this video, I'm going to show you how to report a health and safety incident. All right, now this is the incident management application, and this is very good for companies that are looking to build a robust system for data collection. This is built with Power Apps, and Power Apps actually has a lot of business rules just because it wants to ensure data integrity. So we are using business rules to ensure data integrity, and I'm going to be showing you one of such rules. So I have an incident that I've already captured over here. So we're rigging down the substructure, which is also called the sub base, and the task was to remove a drain pipe from an oil water separator tank section. Now, a floorman who works on the rig floor was loosening the upper bowl of the drain pipe clamp. While looking for proper sling, the drain pipe suddenly disengaged and flipped over and crashed the person against the sub base. That is not good enough. There was a back injury right there. So let's capture this right in this. All right, so I'm going to click over here and I'm going to register a new incident. Okay, so I'm just going to click over here. Now, the business rule is the fact that, for example, incident can never be a future date. If you're going to select a future date, you're going to get an alert that, hey, it cannot be a future date. So this is a business rule right there. And so at this point, you can never submit it unless you fix it. All right, so we're going to use today as the day we are capturing incident. And perhaps let's go all the way back, because the fact is that we are trying to collect a lot of data for our dashboard starting from January. So that on our dashboard that we shared earlier, it's going to look like a proper dashboard with January all the way to the end, because the dashboard actually started from, I think, May or so. So let's capture the incident. It was registered, or it happened on the 1st of January, and the reporting date, it defaults to today, which is the 1st of July. So that's another business rule right there, because you're trying to make sure that you do not make mistakes. Because, for example, if I choose a future date as a report date, it's gonna still tell me it cannot be a future date. It can only be a current date or a past date. So let's go all the way to, let's say I reported the following day, okay? And so one of the metrics could be even, all these things are metrics you can be tracking. So it was reported by me. The shift was a day shift. Okay, the incident title is drain pipe disengaged, flip, resulting in a back injury. So that is the incident title. We keep it very short. Okay, the incident description, I'm simply going to copy what I have here. I'm going to paste it there. So the incident was actually, let's assume it was a lost time injury. The work site is this site. So we're going to choose the site 8021. And then the work area is on the substructure. So we don't have the substructure over here. Okay, we don't have the substructure over here. Now, this is where the admin of this system is going to be populating all the various work locations or the piece of work. Okay, so the work area, we can say the rig floor. Let's say the rig floor. Okay, let's see the rig floor for now. So let's assume it's a rig floor. We've already selected what work activity was it. So you can have a long list of work activities. So when we come to the admin portal, you're going to notice that we have options to add on to the list of work activities. So we're just going to open that right now. And so while that loads, currently at this point, my internet probably is not too fast. Okay, so you notice that we have work activities. So we can add on to the list of work activities. So let's add on another work activity. And so this I'm going to call it dismantling drain pipe. The activity was rigging down, basically that's what I hope I don't have. We already have an activity which is rig move operation. So let's just choose rig move operation, because this is done during rig move. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to look for rig move. Now the new one that I registered, it wouldn't show because I've not refreshed the app. If I refresh it, then it's going to show. So there was an injury. What injury was it? It was a bruise. It was a bruise at the back. The body part that was injured is the back, because the guy had a back injury. So we're just going to choose back over here. The severity level, we can say it's a high severity level. The downtime, we'll probably say we had to stop work for probably 2 hours. We had to stop the rig move for 2 hours to do a safety stand down and try to gather all the facts and try to make a report and all of that. So we had to stop the work. Affected person is our own worker. The gender is a male. The asset involved is the sub base. So you can actually add on the sub base. So this is where the HS department once again can be building a list of asset types. So the various asset types. And so we're able to have an overview of all the equipment that people will potentially use that can injure them and all of that. Because we need to make sure that we have an equipment register. We know all the equipment at the workplace, and then we know all the ones that pose risk to people. And so in our risk assessment, we are going to be identifying hazards on all these equipment. So the equipment should already be on our system. So we could add on. So at this point, I'm not going to do that. We can do that later on. Let's assume that it was any of this. So let's just choose something random. And then the material. So there's no material involved at this point. So what action did we take? We held a safety stand down. And safety stand down is basically done just to create awareness, basically advise everybody, assert our high level authority about the fact that we don't like such incidents from happening. And we are trying to align everybody's focus, allay fears and stress and everything, because when incident happen, everybody is sort of down and we don't want things to escalate further. So we want to put everybody at ease and have a a safety conversation about what happened, why did it happen, and what we can do to prevent it from happening. So everybody is psyched out. So that's safety stand down. So we held a safety stand down as an immediate action. And then what was the initial finding? The initial finding was that there was lack of supervision. So this is where you can put in a long list of findings just because we are gathering preliminary information. The immediate cause observed is also basically something that we can put in there, that the immediate cause was the fact that he was working without paying attention or whatever. So I think this one, I need to keep it very simple. So preliminary in cause category is a human error, investigation required for sure. So at this point, we have registered. We can choose to save it as draft to wait and get more information about the incident. So this usually, maybe it is at a particular location. They are supposed to report this incident and they are waiting to get more information. And so that's what we are going to be waiting for. Once we get a green light, we can easily just submit. So once we submit, you're going to notice something. So let me just open another team. This is my Outlook. Let me open another Teams over here so that we understand what is going to happen. So it's going to be a notification that a new incident has been submitted and requires your approval. And over here also, when we come into the chart, there is the workflow notification over here, new incident submitted for approval, and that is it. Okay, so this is based on the fact that there is a high level authority that must approve the incident, especially with the details in there. So if the details is good enough, you can approve it. If not, he's going to reject it. So let's do a rejection. Provide more details and resubmit. More details and resubmit. And take note that this app actually registers previous information that you may have entered, and so it has already auto-populated. So let's reject this at this point. So we're going to reject it. We don't want this kind of information. We want more facts to be captured in there. So there's going to be notification right here, and then we're going to get a notification that, hey, your incident submission has been rejected. Please review the details below and resubmit if necessary. All right, so that's what we have. The same notification over here. So at this point, because it has been rejected, we can be able to edit it one more time. But when we submit again, we will not be able to edit it. Okay, so that's the business rule right there. Once again, at this point, it's submitted. Take note, we cannot edit it, right? So it's not go back again, hey, it has been updated and whatever, resubmitted. At this point, we just want to approve it. Okay, so we're just going to click on approve, and this has officially been added to our database. So this is how we report incidents using this system, and we can actually do that on mobile as well. Okay, so in my next video, I'm going to show you how we can escalate this to initiate an investigation, because this requires an investigation. You need to be able to carry out an investigation. Now there's opportunity to attach files, maybe a screenshot of the incident, and that's it. When we are carrying out an investigation, we don't want to overload the system with a lot of documents. This is where working right within Microsoft Teams is very important, because within Microsoft Teams, you can actually bring in SharePoint site. And so we have the SharePoint site over here. Okay. And that is where we will just create a folder. We go to our incident report folder. We create a new folder. Okay. We go to create new folder. There we have it. Create a new folder. Give it a name. Now, what name are we going to give to the folder? We simply go to the incident. So actually it's the same thing. The incident ID. We can get an incident ID here. So let's get an incident ID over here. That's it right there. This very one. Okay. And then we just create this folder and we give it a name, the incident title. Now all of this are available to you. So let's try to go back to the incident itself. Let's go to over here. Let's look on it once again, because it's easy to get all this information without having to overthink it. So if I go in there and I click on the incident that we've registered, this one, I'm going to copy the entire reference. And so there's more, detailed, so we can understand exactly what it is. I'm going to create a folder. Then I'm going to invite all the members of the investigation team to now understand that we have a dedicated folder. Every record that we are collecting from the investigation, all the information we're gathering, we're going to put everything here. So we are using Microsoft Teams for its intended purpose, and that is document management, whilst we are using Power App for data collection, not to overload it with document, because we have a database capacity that we are supposed to be managing. Okay, so we have a database capacity. So the incident that we've just registered is going to be right here. Drill pipe disengage. There we have it. As you can see, all the information is here. So the HSE admin can actually review it from the back end without having to even reject it. Can be like, okay, no worries, I'm just going to review it over here. At this point, we are good to go. That's it. So this is a corporate solution. This is more advanced. You need to have Microsoft 365. You need to make sure that you have license to use Power BI and all of that. And this is the best systems of work for HS department. So if you're interested, all you need to connect with me. See you again in another video. Bye for now. Cheers.